So if I can paint the Cerberus and then become the one whose name they dare to speak, then I believe that we can shift the cosmos into something so much more complete than antiquated doublespeak. And then they use the frogs to all hope, but me lost as I bring about this holocaust. I'm taking every soul of the brothers to the service and bring a new plague to Olympus. I will take back the 3 domains undertaken, cast out your own ecstasy.
Gentlemen, come on in, grab your screens, and welcome to North Sports Dynasty. I am your host, Andrew Fulbert, and there's supposed to be another guy here, but he decided to go and escape to a different dimension, which is up north or somewhere. But he will not be with me this weekend, which is okay. You are here with me, the host of North Sports Dynasty. So come, give us a like, give us a share, give us a follow, give us anything you possibly can. Please, we beg you. No, I'm just kidding. We don't beg here. But what we do is we bring you extensive knowledge of the sports world we love and the dynasty that you crave. So if you want everybody else to know what the heck is this dynasty that everybody's starting to hear about, because now literally it's hitting all 4 sides of the globe now, ladies and gentlemen. I got people in Japan who are asking about dynasty. I don't even know how to translate the conversation. I just know that it's about dynasty. We got people in Arizona. We got people in Washington. We got people in Canada. We got people in Florida. We got people everywhere in the world addicted now to this dynasty thing. So what is it? We'll talk about it. What else are we going to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen? Well, since it's just me, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the early NFL grades. We're going to be going over obviously the dynasty draft that we just did last week that you may have saw. We are going to be going over the high stakes, high rewards, a little bit of baseball and UFC picks. I don't have them actually written down because today what I decided to do is something a little bit different where I will show you that in a little bit. Also, we have an NFL draft competition giveaway coming, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. So if you want to hear more about that, give us a like, give us a share, give us a follow. Let us know that you're watching because when I know I got a few people here, I'll let you know how you can win something pretty cool. All you got to do is you got to beat me or Alex this year. That's the giveaway. That's the challenge, ladies and gentlemen. The challenge goes like this. As you see right here on the big board and on this big board, what we do here at NSD is we do mock drafts in the offseason. We also do player rankings for Dynasty, but we do a lot more than that. We like to make people money, and we like to make people right, and we like to make people think that eventually one day we could become analysts and journalists and proper NFL personnel. The way that you do that is by listening to what everybody has to say about the draft and the players and how they're rising and falling and everything like that. Last year, Alex got 8 out of 32 absolutely correct in the NFL draft. I got 7. But this year, we're opening it up to you, the fans of the show out there. If you would like to win a jersey of your team, whatever it is. Obviously, we're not talking like signed or anything like that. Nothing too crazy. But obviously, if you want to get a brand new jersey because you don't have one, we're going to help you out. You just got to beat us. So it goes like this. You guess the right teams picking the right players in the NFL draft. 1 through 32. We ain't going to do second and third round. That gets a little too intense. 1 through 32. You guess the team that guesses the player, you get 5 points. For every single player that you get right that does go in the first round, despite the team, that is going to get you an extra point. So in order to win, in order to make sure that you can get the most points, you got to guess all the players that are going to go in the first round. That'd be obvious, right? Get like 28, 27 usually on average. That'd be a good one maybe. But getting that team, getting that player correct, that's going to get you the big points. 5 big points extra. So the person with the most points at the end of this draft is going to win themselves a brand new jersey if you can beat me and Alex. So if you want to know how you're going to get some information on that, tune into the show. Find out what me and Alex are thinking, which is what we're going to be doing here in a little bit. We're going to be talking about some of the NFL grades and what are these teams going to be doing going forward. And in order to help with that, we're going to be doing something nice like these NFL grades and Dynasty talk and jumping into the comments. I saw Johnny Dean in there. The Dwayne Haskins news I wanted to get to as well. Hats off, obviously. Hats off. What a tragedy to happen today with regards to Dwayne Haskins. I could not believe that. That was absolutely insane to wake up and actually hear of a passing like that. Our condolences go out to the family of Dwayne Haskins, to the Pittsburgh Steelers, to the Washington Commanders, to Ohio State, to every single team that this player has ever, played for, but obviously showed his leadership for and helped. And not only that, just the community around the board that he was part of. May not have been a starter, but that doesn't matter. Kid was still a great athlete and a great kid all around. And he was doing something that he absolutely loved, and he got into an accident today. We don't know the full details just yet, and I'm not going to go into the full details, obviously, because it said that he was in a car accident. I think he was just walking across the street, but we don't know. There's speculations out there right now. Obviously, maybe something has come out in the last few minutes, but I don't know. But nonetheless, our hearts and our prayers today go out to the Haskins family going forward. Now, before I get Johnny Dean in here, because I see him popping into the back there, which is nice. Hello, Johnny. Let's talk a little bit about this draft overview. We did a Dynasty draft last week, and it took a while. A lot of people were like, why is this taking so long? And believe me, the fact that it actually lasted only one night was absolutely incredible. The fact also is this. We drafted this team, and it is now a absolute startup. It's absolute startup. So now going forward, we've seen in our little thing people being dropped here and there. We've seen other players getting, wanting to be picked up. We've seen trades. The big trade happening right on draft night was obviously between me and Alex, because I'm not dumb. I know Alex is going to go after his Detroit players no matter what. He will value them ahead of everything. And yes, I may have gotten Leonard Fournette in return, but that doesn't. I'm not a homer necessarily when it comes to Leonard Fournette. It was just part of the package. I have literally the entirety of the Cleveland backfield, which I am, all for. But this startup was really fun. We have Let's Talk Football part of it, a couple of Bucks Report people, obviously NSD's part of it, and a few other little scramblers will stay. It was really fun. It was a really, really great thing to have, especially with Let's Talk Football. They've been talking about it all the way through. On a couple of their shows as well. Shout out to the Swintons, to Sean, and to David, all part of Let's Talk Football, who are now part of our Dynasty, where we're all going to eventually meet in Detroit 2024. That's the goal. Got $100 towards it already. I put it away. I put it in one of my mini helmets. That's what I did. And it's hiding. And I really hope that in my stoned cannabis state of mind that I'll remember that I actually hid Detroit money in a Tampa Bay Buccaneer mini helmet. The non-signed one. I should remind myself that right now too. The non-signed one, because I got my Warren Sapp one right there, and I got my Rondé Barber, all creamsicle with, let me remind you, the Mike Allstat on the way, because we don't fuck around here at NSD, ladies and gentlemen. No, when I win other jerseys, I go out and I hunt, and I found all these things, and they're so beautiful, and I got them. They're mine. Now they're coming home. So, the Dynasty has happened. We have got the players essentially all set up. I don't want to get into my team because I don't want to brag too much, but obviously mine's the best because I am the best of Dynasty. And if Alex was here, he'd actually be able to, make a comment at that, but he's not. And someone's going to clip this and show it to him and be like, Alex, Andrew's talking shit about you on your show. Yep, I am, because I have the best Dynasty team in this league. And the other league, because I'm the biggest. No, I'm just kidding. That's a big flex, I know. Alex's team is actually really good, too. The Swittens have a couple of good teams. Sean's team's actually really nice. There is one team that I was scared of, and I do actually think it's Kyle's. But Kyle always looks really, really good, and then comes season time, it's like, ooh, what is this? So, alrighty. So let's get into some NFL grades here, ladies and gentlemen. These NFL grades, I'm going to bring Johnny Dean into this. What I want before I go and do that is I want to have a little commercial because I'm about to cough really bad. So let me do my thank you commercial, and I'll get right back out here. Track.
The Hanzo and Sashi, Mingekyo, Kakashi, Genjutsu, and Rabble. My name is Itachi, destroyer of demons, the coldest of seasons. I bathe in the hellfire, began to steam, and they tell you ready, just give me a reason. Ask me for pain and I'll show you the meanest. Souls to forgotten, there ain't no demon. I'm here in the nether, blood of the screaming. Think they can eat me alive. Every single person with a pen and page, trying to keep up with this black and new age masquerade. All these Sonish motherfuckers will be calling it quits. Jamal Adams coming at you with this.
We are now live with Johnny Dean, Johnny Bones, apparently, from the NFL edition. How we doing tonight, brother?
How's it going, man?
I am good. I'm flying solo. Alex decided to go. I don't know what he does on the weekends, to be honest with you. And I think we're gonna have like a little intervention with him next weekend because he's never gonna go back and watch this show. Like he's not gonna do that. What he's gonna do?
You should always rewatch the shows, man.
I've told him that, but he won't do it. What he'll do is he'll be like, oh yeah, you talk shit about this, yeah, you little rat. No, he's a liar, and he's disappearing for a reason. And we're gonna find out. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're fans of the show, drop down in the comment section. What do you exactly think Alex is doing? Because he's not doing what I think he's doing. I'm just saying.
He's got a hooky on the side.
Yeah, I know, right? Like he's like, okay, I'll do the Thursday show, but then fuck the Saturday show. Or I'll say fuck the Thursday show, do the Saturday show. Or fuck both shows. No, I'm just kidding.
I think Alec and Kyle wore him out Thursday, man.
I'm not going to lie. There are many things that I am very excited about for Detroit 2024. The biggest thing I am excited for is to watch Kyle and Alec meet for the very first time and just see how they would walk up to each other, how they would say hi to each other.
Like stalking cats.
Oh my God. Like, right? Or it would be so funny because like Kyle would probably wear like a Bucks jersey and Alec would wear like a Falcons jersey, being like, right here, man, we got you. Like the Canadians, like, when you're coming off of an airplane and people got the signs.
Yeah.
It'd be Alec sitting there with a sign being like, looking for Kyle, baby girl, where are you? In this little Falcons jersey. I cannot wait.
That would have to be videoed.
Dude, there's going to be a lot of stuff being videoed for Detroit 2024. I've actually started to get really excited about some of the stuff that may happen at Detroit 2024. And for people who don't know what is going on in Detroit 2024, that's the draft. We're also going to go see some baseball games. Hopefully the Red Wings are still doing respectably good. We can go catch a couple of those games. And then there's basketball and stuff like that, but who really actually cares about fucking the Detroit Pistons at this point?
I actually forgot there was a Detroit Pistons. I thought they left when the bad boys left.
That's what I said. But you know what? I have said before that the Detroit Pistons, I don't think they can ever have like a really good, solid, like elite team ever for like consistent. You just have to build one every 22 years, I think it was, that they're just these bad boys. And you just have to let it go for 5 or 6 years, win a championship, and then let them all go get money. Like you can't. I can never see Detroit being so dominant. Couple comments I wanted to see. Harry Berg, big board in the house. Thank you very much there, Harry Berg, 1252 Sports and Amped Up Sports there with our boy Peter Blake. JC Allen at Pewter Report. I always say Pewter Report, and then I like question myself halfway through because I think he's at a bigger network at this point. And I'm not saying Pewter Report's not big at all or anything like that. I just keep thinking he's at like PFF or like he got hired on by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and like Bruce Arians and him are scouting freaking your boy there from Connecticut or whatever. So shout out to JC Allen there. He says, drink maple syrup or we leave. If you don't think that I have like a little splash of maple syrup in this every single day, man, like, come on.
Maple syrup and vodka.
Ooh, hey. And then you put that into the snow and let that, ooh. But I mean, this right here is my maple syrup, if you know what I mean. There's nice little juice in here. So, actually, this one, I'm not going to lie. I know I'm not supposed to be talking about it, but this one tastes like bubble gum. And it's addicting. I love it. It's really good. I'm going to have to send a few of these care packages out this winter time just to some people. So, JC Allen, since I've known you for way too long because of Bucksport and stuff like that, I might have to send you one down too. So we'll see. Johnny's gotten one. Rick's gotten one. Everybody's gotten one. And sent a couple more out. Kyle says, Daddy, did you do ranks yet? I'm here to see how I did. Well, here's the thing. I actually said I don't mind your team. And I didn't pull up Sleeper because I wanted to wait until Alex was on because we could have like a big, deep talk into the Dynasty aspect. So I just kind of wanted to have like a nice little show and kind of ramble on about some of the other stuff that I've missed. But these early NFL grades, let's talk about this for a second. Who do you honestly think out of like right now, pre-draft, like we know the draft isn't necessarily going to help anybody become like the most elite team out there, obviously. But right now, who's the number one team in the NFL? Who would you think is
in the NFL?
Yeah.
Oh man, I couldn't put a finger. You have to go with the Rams, I guess, because that's the defending champions.
And you know what? Like they didn't necessarily lose too much. I know that a lot of people are saying, well, they don't have Von Miller. They don't have. They lost, I believe, someone else on the offensive line. But it's like, how many times have we actually seen the Rams take their third or fourth round picks and actually use that to get real players, Right. I think that the cornerback that's on the other side of Ramsey there was like a third or fourth round pick too. Like that guy is absolutely fantastic. So the Rams, I don't mind the Rams at number one. A lot of people are going to like hate me for this. I still kind of go the Chiefs. I still do. And for me, like, I know everyone's like, why? Like they've lost players. They got no wide receivers. I don't mind Patrick Mahomes' development. I actually think that Patrick Mahomes is really, really good as a quarterback with Andy Reid and his offensive coordinator and some of the other integral pieces that he has around him. I think that's what helps his development. I think that's what would keep him around to be the number one team. Now, obviously, I know I'm in the minority because it's not the sexy pick anymore. That's like when the Patriots lost Randy Moss and had to leave, let a couple of those other players go. Everyone was like, ugh. The Patriots are coming to their end. I don't want to necessarily hop onto that bandwagon yet that the Chiefs are done, just because their whole division is.
I don't think the Chiefs are done. I just think the division around them's gotten better, and they've stayed pretty static. I mean, they're not worse than they were before, but they're not that much better than they were, and everybody else around them is getting better.
Now, the Valdez-Scantling pick that they got, that's where he went, right?
Yep.
And that's the burner. And I do like Tyreek Hill. Don't get me wrong, because he was like the Deebo Samuel, early Deebo Samuel type. Right. I like kind of what they have built around there a little bit more. I think that it's really they're trying something different, and I think that they've realized that Patrick Mahomes may be actually something that can be like a Tom Brady going forward. Right. They're not going to say it, obviously, but they're like, this guy can compete every single year for championships. Let's just make sure that the analyticals around him are still really good.
Yeah, let him run through his check downs and then scramble when he needs to for time and hit Kelsey in the middle like he always does.
Exactly. And as long as Kelsey, like they're making up their own plays at this point. Like you talk about chemistry, like that's starting to get a little insane. I did want to get to these comments here. When Brady leaves, no future. Lol. Mr. Rams House, thank you for tuning in. Rams, obviously. Well, we agree with you there. And we have Cronky and Les Need who know business. And you're not wrong.
Right.
1,000%. This, on the other hand, Packers can beat the Bucks. Last year, I would have said yes. My only thing is that Devontae Adams loss, unless they actually get someone that Rodgers can click with right off the bat in this draft, or even in free agency, like say a Larry Fitzgerald or an AJ Green, just someone that's out there. You know what I mean? Unless you get someone that he has that possession that he can go to at any single point, that right there becomes the problem, because Tom Brady is coming back to his two guys that he has had. And obviously he doesn't have Gronk right now, and we can probably get that figured out. But going forward, he has more weapons than, say, the Packers do. But also at the same time, I am not say a Packers homer here. I'm on the side that I think Rodgers is a little bit better than people are saying or wanting to admit to these days. I just think this whole drama that he's had and the contract and him being a little whiner, I will admit, finally is over. You know, Devontae's gone. He's kind of got it himself. He's got 3 years to do it. I think that's what's going to get him possibly eventually there. But I don't think the Packers can beat the Bucks. Not right now.
No.
Not unless, and I'm not jinxing it, and I really hope that this doesn't happen. But if Tom Brady has the Peyton Manning season that he had when Peyton Manning won his second Super Bowl there, that's where it would start to scare me. Like if somebody else has to come in and sit or and start and basically take us, like if Kyle Trask has to go 10 touchdowns and 7 interceptions to take us to the playoffs, and we get all the way to the Super Bowl, and then Tom Brady comes back in and wins the Super Bowl and then retires. I don't want that part of his legacy. I would rather that stay with Peyton's. You know what I mean? So if Brady's coming back, and Brady's coming back because he knows he can do it. He's not coming back because he's like, the targets are there and I can make them work. No, Brady knows what the fuck he's about to do. So,
5,000 yards last season, 50 touchdowns. Come on, dude. he's not decrepit.
Kyle Yacy, thank you for tuning in, says not to be biased, but Falcons are filling lots of holes this draft. There is going to be a lot of help and depth developed in this draft. Bucks still win the division, but depending on how the draft goes, Falcons might steal a win from the Bucks. Oh, 1,000%. The Falcons and the Panthers are the two teams in our division. I mean, I don't want to talk about the Saints. Everyone knows my feelings about them. But I really don't like going up against the Panthers and the Falcons on any given Sunday, because any given Sunday, they can steal a win off of us. And what we were saying on your show there on Thursday, like Carolina's wide receiving core is nothing to just they're not overrated. Like they're underrated right now. So they just need a quarterback. So
I'll tell you, who everybody is overlooking is the 49ers, man. Constantly. And this drama with Deebo Samuel and stuff, that's going to go away because they're going to cut Garoppolo. That's what this is all about. They don't have the money to sign Deebo to the contract he's got right now because of the 28 to Garoppolo. But when they cut Garoppolo, that frees up $25 million for Deebo Samuel. So that's going to go away. That's eventually going to go away.
Yeah, I hope so, because
absolutely they're not going to give away Deebo Samuel to keep Garoppolo out there to be a question mark. You know?
No, especially in Green Bay's case. Everybody would be like, well, they didn't have another wide receiver that they could literally go and replace. Well, it's Aaron Rodgers being that good is the reason why they think that they can go that route. With regards to San Francisco, I'm not saying that Jimmy Garoppolo is not good. I'm just saying that if he doesn't have Deebo and he only has Brandon Ayuk and a couple of those other guys, you're not going to get the same type of production out of that offense that you think so. Kittle's really good and all that, but there's a reason why Deebo Samuel does very, very good. And that's because George Kittle's getting looks. The backfield's getting looks. I like this. Aaron Rodgers is overrated. Here's the thing. And I want to say this. I wanted to actually be held on camera, and I want to be liable for what I'm about to say. Because, again, I'm a Buccaneers fan through and through, but everybody knows me as an NFL fan. I am a football fan, okay? If we are going to say and state that Aaron Rodgers is overrated, I want you to go to look at the tape at him and a couple other people, because then I'm going to compare him to somebody and state this. If Aaron Rodgers is overrated, so is Dan Marino. And I know a lot of people are not going to like that. Soak that in for a second. But this is what I'm saying. If Aaron Rodgers is overrated and you think Aaron Rodgers is a bad quarterback and you think that he's the problem, that they can't win and they can't get over the hump, I need you to go back and watch a lot of tape on this guy and this beautiful, beautiful specimen in Dan Marino. The man who never won a Super Bowl, but was always, always, always in the talks for best quarterback of the year. The guy that we have to beat in order to get over the hump, right? Here's the thing, is he was the regular season guy and this, that, and everything else. But a lot of people said he was the overrated one. Whereas in real time, like if you want to talk about the other side of metrics of football, the amount of money that Dan Marino made for the Dolphins is still existent to this day. To this day, right? There is winning, obviously, on the field. That makes everybody shut up and says you're the greatest of all time. But then there's the other side of it, is making money and making your team, your franchise, a little bit more relevant. So go look at both of them. I know that Rodgers has got more success because I saw this comment pop up there. Dan Marino never won a playoff game, which I believe is true, right? He never won.
He won playoff games because he got to the Super Bowl. But
I was going to say, now, was he injured and then played in the Super Bowl? Or
no, he played in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Against Joe Montana. That's when 49ers beat him. The thing with Marino and the Dolphins is you've got to remember they were ankled to Don Shula, who was at the time outdated.
Yes.
And Don Shula wouldn't change his scheme up. He wouldn't put no running game in there. They were barely held together with their offensive line, and he had two wide receivers, and that's what all that firepower was.
And he just tried to Bill Walsh before Bill Walsh. You know, Bill Walsh didn't necessarily change his system. He changed his mentality within game, and that's how that man won a lot of things. And I know me and Alex differ. I know Alex is still for the hardcore, go beat the kids behind the bleachers and tell them to be. I'm kidding. He's not like that. But Alex is for you got to be hard on the kids growing up a little bit, right? For them to understand if they want to be professionals and stuff like that, it's not going to get easier for you. It's just going to get harder. I agree with that. But
then Jimmy Johnson came in and changed the scheme again, and him and Marino really knocked heads because he didn't want the throwing game. He wanted a running game. He wanted the Emmitt Smith game. That package that he had in Dallas. So,
and I totally agree with that too, right? Like, why not?
Yeah.
So.
And he did improve the team too, by the way.
Yes, he did. So, so I don't necessarily think that he's overrated, but I do like this one. Do you think we get Julio or Edelman? Listen, this is just me. I don't give a damn if he's going to be 43 years old and then he finally comes to our team like Mr. Brady did. I have dreamed about Julio Jones catching a pass as a Buccaneer. Just as the biggest slap to the face to the Falcons fans. Where it's just guess what? I can wear a Julio Jones jersey too. Ha ha. So I hope, because I like that third option that Brady had in the slot, being someone like Antonio Brown, like a superstar, somebody that knows how to run these routes properly when they're healthy. So I lean a little bit more Edelman because Julio Jones is a little bit too tall, in my opinion, for the slot position like that. And same with Larry Fitzgerald. Though I'm
not a bit disappointed in Russell Cage.
Well, that's the other thing too, right? Is Russell Gage is in there now, and he's the guy that's going to have to pick it up and stuff. So I don't necessarily think we need it, but if we did, those would Edelman would be the fourth man, I guess, option that I wouldn't mind. You know what I mean? Gage is covered, Evans is covered, Godwin is covered. Edelman ain't going to have nobody then. So. Who are we playing next year that's going to cover us except the Chargers? I think we play the Chargers next year, right?
I'm not sure.
I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember. I don't have it off the top of my head, the list here of just the teams that we play next year. I know we play a lot of very good teams, and I'm just not sure how many of them have top tier elite corners on both sides. Like Miami's got corners galore. That Miami's just stockpiled on corners. They got corners that, and even the Jets. I know a lot of people are mocking Sauce Gardner to the Jets, and if that happens, you listen. the Jets may have like 5 cornerbacks that you could just throw out there and fucking forget about it. Right. Breece Hall was a first-round top 5 pick at one point, and he fell because of injury, and he got them as a steal. They already got 2 other guys in there, Michael Carter or whatever, Michael something, and then this other
Michael
guy.
Carter.
Yeah, Michael Carter. And they got another guy in there who is just they're just freaks. And then so you're gonna go put in another corner, and then possibly that other one that they have. I keep forgetting his name too. He's underrated. But like the Jets, if they go do that, like damn. But like who else do the Bucs play that's got anywhere close to a good cornerback scheme besides the Falcons? Because I think the Falcons will probably take a corner too. I want to see Trey Lance take the torch, give him a season. Well, in my NSD league that we just switched to Superflex, which means you can use 2 quarterbacks, I would really hope so too, because I don't have any other fucking quarterbacks to use except for Trey Lance. So I got obviously Josh Allen, but like I made the trade for a reason. So I can see the Colts go to the Super Bowl this year. Matt Ryan redemption year. Listen,
that's not an absurd comment either.
I thought the same thing when Phillip Rivers went there. Yeah. That was my sleeper team. I was like, maybe they're ready and stuff like that. Maybe they could take it to the next level. And to be honest with you, the Colts, I don't want to play the Colts.
It's a good wide receiver draft this year. That's all they need that's their only hole right there now. It's wide receiver.
They draft at 42. So they're going to basically catch one of those fallen wide receivers, like an injured one or something like that. So do I think the defense is going to be good for the Bucs this year? Oh, yeah. And me and Johnny have talked about this for a while. When a bunch of players are coming in to work, to play football, and they literally think it's just a job, they just play. You know what I mean? And they have a little bit of fun, and some rivalry games, they'll kick ass, and it'll be good for the fan base. When you bring in like a big name like Tom Brady, or you bring in like a Peyton Manning when he went to the Broncos there, or even like Russell Wilson now to the Broncos, now it's different. Now you're not just playing for a paycheck. You're playing for rings, which equals money. You're playing for endorsements, which equals money. You're playing for history, which equals money. Like you're literally playing for like certain things that you never really thought of before. Like there's been players who have been drafted into the NFL who have been on the worst type of college teams, have just been losing. Like you've been sitting there on the Kansas what's Kansas's team name again for college? Jayhawks?
Jayhawks.
Yeah, you're on the Kansas Jayhawks football team. Okay? Not the basketball team, the football team. And you go like 0-12 every year, but you're that one sparkling good player on it. You know what I mean? You're the one guy, right? Those type of players, when they finally get drafted, they go to a shitty team, they just adapt. But it's those players, when they get drafted to a good team, they kick ass. And that's why you saw Joe Tryon do really good last year for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And more than likely, what I'm kind of leaning towards is if it's someone like a DeMarvin Leal or a Travis Jones that the Buccaneers take for that defensive line, they're going to do the same fucking thing. Travis Jones will probably just sit there and like absolutely eat. Or an Ogbar. Cameron Thomas, like some of these names are the guys that you should probably think of the Buccaneers getting. I want to see it be Trey McBride, just because then all of a sudden it's like, hey, Gronk, we don't necessarily need you. Now, if you really want to come back, you have to beg us instead of us begging you. So
if you put Travis Jones with Vita Vea on that line, that the Bucs will have the best interior line in football.
I like Travis Jones. DeMarvin Leal is another one that I know me and you are high up on as well. I also wouldn't be, I would be very surprised, but I also wouldn't be mad if all of a sudden come draft day, you see the Buccaneers trade up to say 15 right before the Saints trade there or before the Saints pick. And everybody's like, the fuck is this? What is this? It's not a wide receiver. And then all of a sudden, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have selected Jordan Davis, defensive lineman, or like if Trayvon Walker or something like that fell, right? It'd be like, oh my heavenly Christ, what have we done? Because at that point, like Washington football team is trying to build around their defensive line because they already know what they have. You know what I mean? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are slowly building something like that. You go up and get a Jordan Davis or a Trayvon Walker or somebody's talent like that falls. I'm even okay with David Ojabo. I know a lot of people are like, we can get him in the second round, but if he's sitting at 27, pull the
if
trigger.
he's sitting at 27, they're going to pull the trigger. Yeah.
Run to that damn altar. Don't take any trade calls, nothing. David Ojabo, come to the Buccaneers and watch my co-host buy a Buccaneers jersey with Ojabo on the back. Alex would be he'd be like, yeah, all right, let's do that. So, couple of these other teams that I wanted to bring up for the NFL grades here. Obviously, I think that San Diego Chargers, the Los Angeles Chargers are going to be a lot better this year. I think Justin Herbert just missing out on an opportunity like that, and Brandon Staley having like a bad coaching bluff, you know what I mean? I think that's going to be the kicker. I think they're all going to take a whole year and be like, listen, we were that close to playoffs, which we think we were that close to a championship anyway. Let's just do the same thing we did last year, add the talent that we got with JC Jackson and Khalil Mack, and let's just fucking go. I also think the Broncos are going to be top 5. I know a lot of people are saying, let's just hold off on that. Teams that make trades for quarterbacks of that caliber, and Russell Wilson's not a bad quarterback. Russell Wilson is a top 5 quarterback in the league. Russell Wilson's mentality and Russell Wilson's leadership is going to that team, and he's going to lead that team. That is what it's going to be. And I'm pretty sure there's personnel still in that locker room and in that building just in general from the last time the organization made that type of a trade. So what happened in that case, right? I know that they lost the first year they went to the Super Bowl, but the second year they won it. Or wait, was it the first year they won it and then second year they lost it? Or was it first year they won it? Because it was the fumble, right? It was the fumble against the Seahawks, and that's why Peyton lost, and then Peyton beat.
Right. It was his second season because he only lasted 3 seasons, I believe.
Yeah, because the fourth one was like that, the weird, like they won the championship again or whatever. Or that's when he won the championship. That was his championship with the Broncos there. Was that weird fourth season or whatever?
Yeah, because he wasn't really he got a participation award basically.
Yes. That kid. No, I'm remembering it now because it was the first year or second year with Denver that he broke the 55 touchdowns and the passing yards record. Right. And then it went to the Super Bowl against Legion of Boom, and it was the greatest offense of all time versus arguably the greatest defense of all time, and Legion of Boom won. Yeah,
and then they lost the second year because they had that 4 overtime loss to the Ravens in the divisional round or conference round.
Yep.
AFC Championship.
Because then that
was a great game, by the way. To me, it's one of the most underrated games of all time, man.
The Ravens. Oh yeah, that's right. That was. Oh, I mean, I'm still biased. I still I don't care. Just because I don't necessarily like any of the teams. Like I really hate the Steelers, but like the Steelers and Cardinals Super Bowl is still the greatest game I have ever watched. Like when Larry caught that post route and went through Troy and the other safety, I thought it was fucking over.
Oh, I was flipping up in my brother's face talking about, oh, like that?
Yep. I was doing the same thing to my buddy too. I was like, your Steelers just blew it. Like, what did Troy do? And then Santonio Holmes with the catch after catch. And then the catch. The fucking catch. Like, I still do not understand how a single finger did not touch that ball and how he even got to like you talk about like the one pass of all time that literally should never have happened. It was so perfect. It's that one in one of the greatest games of all time.
Yep.
Man, I still watch that game. There's the Bucket. Listen, I put in the top 5 this last year, the Buccaneers-Rams game. That was an emotional roller coaster.
Which one? The first one or the second one? The third one?
The second one. That playoff game, though we lost, is still one of my favorites because Brady was coming. Brady almost did the second best comeback of all time, only to himself. And I was like, oh my God, like we're about to do this. And then obviously Cooper Kupp, the MVP, Stafford, like I totally understand. But I'm still calling it top 5 game of all time, in my opinion. It was so good. And then Tim Witherspoon, thank you for tuning in. They won the first year and lost the second, I believe. Yes. Because then, because I'd have to search it up again. Because, it's different. Like, it's almost like we're talking back in the day when, like, we didn't have technology on, right? It's like, shit, when was that year that the Broncos won? It's like, this year and then this year, right? Not this year.
No, they lost. They won the last season with because he retired after that.
I do remember that they won. Yeah. They won in his last season, but it wasn't technically like his.
Right. Because his neck was so badly injured by that time that he couldn't throw the ball 20 yards down the field or nothing. So.
Yeah, 16 touchdowns and 24 interceptions, and the rising resurgence of Brock Osweiler.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Brock Osweiler contract and all that shit. Yeah, it was. That was intense. That was some good times, though. I'm not gonna lie. I still go back and watch the Peyton Manning highlights of the 55-yard or the 55 touchdown season, just for the sneak. His one rushing touchdown that he got that year, where the camera and everybody was like on the pile, and all of a sudden
why is he doing that?
Yeah.
What in the hell is going on here?
And he went straight, like he didn't go right into it. He went all the way to the fucking pylon too. Like you're an asshole, Peyton.
God, dude.
I love it though. It's such a good season. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna take a quick break and we'll get you some money being made here with high stakes, high rewards. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Welcome back to North Dynasty. If you like what you see, send us a like, send us a share, send us a follow, send us anything you got. We beg of you. No, we don't beg here, ladies and gentlemen. Canadians don't do that.
Except for maple syrup.
Though, like, I've been told, like, there's this place called Vermont that has really good maple syrup. Do you guys just have hidden states? Like, where the fuck is Vermont?
Just go look for Nessie Jr.
For Nessie Jr.?
Yeah.
What is Nessie Jr.?
Vermont's got a Lake Champlain, and that's where the Champlain Lake Monster is at. You've never heard of this?
I ain't never heard of Vermont. Like some raggedy ass little state apparently is trying to compete with my whole country's.
Everybody in the South vacations in Vermont in the fall so they can watch the leaves change. Yes.
What? Why do you hold the hell? I'm sorry. Before we get into bets here, I need to divert this for a second. You mean to tell me there's Americans that literally go north to watch leaves change?
Yes.
Are you kidding me? We leave our country when that happens up here. We are like, the second that one of those leaves hits the fucking ground, all plane prices go skyrocketing. They're like, oh shit, here come the Canadians, and we all go running to WestJet. Like, I need to get to Florida, and they're like, sorry, it's all sold out. No. What's the second best location? Arizona. It's really hot. Fuck.
Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
South Carolina. I would actually probably rather go to South Carolina. That's me. Or Detroit 2024. Detroit 2024. I'm actually gonna make a little video about that, like a little, like a quick little like 10-second commercial where it's just like a bunch of like fireworks and techno, just like pew, 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 pew. And I'm gonna have it play every time when I do a show now until 2024 happens and I inevitably get to Detroit.
If you make it there, Detroit, Detroit. It might. Apocalypse 2024.
No, I'll stay in Windsor then. I don't care. I told Alex that too. I actually got to go check on maps again too, because it was like if I can literally walk across the bridge, which people don't recommend. They're like, why would you do that? Just drive. And I'm like, okay, but yeah, like I want to be there. I want to obviously be safe. And people said downtown, man, Detroit will be fine. And I'm like, what the fuck? That's like, this is what I've heard is the worst. Like, can I not sleep at Ford Field? Like, can I just stay there? Isn't it safe at the stadium? Like, fuck.
A few years ago, remember the rat? Never mind. I ain't even going to go into that. There was a big rat scandal about that in Ford Field.
What happened? Was there rats?
Yeah.
No, no, there can't be rats. Oh man. All right.
They
Okay.
should mix. They should mix the Giant Stadium and Ford Stadium and put them together because the Giant Stadium has the cat problem. The
Oh
rat
yeah,
problem.
that's right. I didn't know where that was going at first. I'm like, that's a very big geological difference. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, so what I did here is I got some of the live odds going on just on my account right now. So I'm just taking a look at some of the things that are going on literally right now. Baseball started, and I know Johnny hates baseball, but I'm gonna say this right now. Last night, the first ever bet that Dynasty laid down for baseball was a 3-team parlay, and it hit. So we're looking pretty good. Toronto with the big comeback last night. I don't know if you actually just watched like no baseball whatsoever, Johnny, or pay attention, zero whatsoever.
Yeah, I got sleeping pills.
Okay, fair enough. Toronto was down 7-0. 7-0. Final score 10-8. Toronto Blue Jays, ladies and gentlemen, with the best comeback I've ever seen. My Bodog account was literally telling me like a 40-cent payout. Just take it. Just take it, basically. And I'm like, oh.
Bonds and McGuire were my era, man. Give them steroids, I'll watch again.
I disagree. But yes, I know that the viewership will go up and blah 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 blah. But I still like you gotta. Okay, cool. Can my hockey players have steroids then? So every time they get hit into the glass, the fucking thing shatters.
That'd be awesome.
Every time, like it has to happen once a game, one time a game. Though every time it does happen, and I really hate the fact that it's usually the Boston Bruins that end up doing it to the opposing players, because I hate to go see those highlights and it's like, oh yeah, the Bruins did it again. But it's still really cool when the Boston Bruins or any team can just knock somebody out of the actual hockey arena through the glass. That's always a good time.
And hockey don't need no improvements to make people. It's an enjoyable game. It's a fun game to watch.
It is. They just need more money. And to be honest, I think you need more goons. Like, you absolutely need more goons. You need to let them fight. Like, this whole thing that's going on between fucking Anaheim and what was that, Phoenix, that happened the other day, where Phoenix Coyotes just literally manhandled. Like, the Ducks won, but Phoenix manhandled them on the ice. Like, beat the shit out of those kids. It's like, yo, Ducks, go sign somebody. And I understand that, like, I understand there's fines when they do that. Like, there's now fines when you go and you sign somebody who's got like 0 goals, 0 assists, and 922 penalty minutes. Like, yeah, okay. I like his stick handling. No, you don't. No, you don't. You're a fucking liar. But
Ducks need to change the name a little bit too. That's such an aggressive name, you know.
The Goons?
No, the Ducks.
Oh, the Ducks. Listen, I don't like the Ducks. When you talk about the 4 teams that I fucking despise in order, it goes Boston and then Pittsburgh and then the Ducks and then the Blackhawks, and it's slowly becoming the Lightning, but I don't like to admit that too much because I'm on a Tampa Bay Lightning pro show. So fucking but the one thing I do like about baseball is they allow fighting. And it was only day 2. And the Mets and the Nationals, they pulled everybody out of the bench. And though, don't get me wrong, if you're throwing the ball at somebody's head 3 times in a game, I'm going to take a baseball bat out of my dugout and come beat your freaking ankle in. Okay? You start targeting people's heads with 88-mile-an-hour fastballs, they should have permission to take that baseball bat and beat the fuck out of that pitcher's knee. I don't give a shit what anybody says. You have a literal cannon in your hand, and you can make somebody absolutely, I almost said the word, you can make somebody have a bad rest of their life, a very, very bad rest of their life, okay?
It's happened.
It has happened, okay? And then you get to sit on your fucking mound and like, oh no, like you can't hit me because blah, 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 blah. No. That's where I want Barry Bonds or Albert Pujols or that one really scary dude that played for like the Dodgers and the Angels, that Puig or whatever. Just get that guy a baseball bat. I want him on my team for the second that anybody throws a fucking pitch at my guy's head. So that's why I was happy yesterday to see that happen. Like, it just, everybody pulled out, and it was just like, what the fuck are we doing? So now, with that being said, going back to just hockey here for a second, a couple little parlays that I want to go on, because I'm looking at some of these matchups right now. And first things first, I see the Islanders and the Blues are at 5.5. I'm going to take the over on that one. I am also going to parlay that here, ladies and gentlemen. Looking at some of the matchups. Montreal and Toronto, as much as I would love nothing more than to bet on that, I ain't even going to touch it. I will, however, take Detroit to be within a goal and a half of the Columbus Blue Jackets. I am going to take the Flames to win outright over the Kraken. And we need one more to cover tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And it looks like I am probably going to take a run here and say the Oilers are going to be within a goal and a half of Colorado. And we are going to drop $5 on that one for a payout of $22.05 if it plans out the way it should. Now let's go to the NHL here, or to the NBA here quick. I just want to get a couple of the lines because I think there's only a couple of games. One is currently going on right now, but we got the Pelicans and the Grizzlies. Don't like that line. Don't like the other line there, but I do like Sacramento being within 11.5 of the Clippers. Are you kidding me? So let's go with the Grizzlies to win. And with Sacramento to be within 11.5. That looks like the only thing I really want to touch on this one today. So we're going to put $3.02 on that for a $5 payout, which will get you an $8 payout. Put what you want on it. It's a plus 167 live bet. And then, of course, the UFC bet that I have tonight. Here's the problem with UFC tonight. All of these lines are so bad for your favorites. The top three. The Kamcha's Jimenez there is minus 550. No money there. Peter Yan, minus 500. No money there. Unless you really want to go Aljamahl Sterling. But he lost last time because he's a little bitch. So, and then Alexander Volkanovski is minus 800 against Korean Zombie. Now, I do like it when people take in a match really quick. All right? Like just a quick old match and blah, 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 blah. But I'm not okay. I'm not going to drop any money on that. What I'm dropping money on here today, and what I did actually the other day, was Jimenez to win by TKO, KO, or disqualification. I think he's going to end Gilbert Burns tonight. I put $5 on that. It's a minus 115 bet, so you're not making too much in return. But if you're looking to get some sort of return off of Jimenez winning tonight, that's the way that I would go. Now, it's the inevitable thing that Johnny really hates, but it's baseball here. Just doing a quick look at the lines of some of the ones going on tonight. I like the Dodgers obviously winning over the Rockies, but I want to parlay this nicely with something else. And I think that the Blue Jays and Rangers game, they had their little fun. Now I think it's obviously going to be a little bit of a lower scoring game. So I will take the under 9 runs. And then, Johnny, Boston or the Yankees?
Asking me?
Yeah.
Try Boston.
You know what? I like that because they're plus 126 to win. And if I add that into this nice little parlay that I got right now, it gives me a plus 681. That plus 126 that Boston and the Yankees there, you can go any which way and have fun with this game. It was a fun game yesterday. So check this out, plus 81. You got the under 9 with the Rangers and the Blue Jays. I think last night was that big scoring game. I think it's going to come down a little bit today. Take the Dodgers to win and the Red Sox to win. Put that in a parlay of $5. Gets you a payout of $34.04. With your $5 back, will make it almost a $40 payout today, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what you got. Quick little Masters update. Scotty Sheffield is currently the God-Don favorite to win. I think he's got a 3 or 4 stroke lead over Dustin Johnson, who is only at plus 700. And Tiger Woods has fallen from grace. I don't even know where he is, actually, on the betting lines. I don't see him. Oh, there he is. Plus 20,000 to win. I wouldn't touch that. The only other person I would put even maybe a little bit of money on is the comeback kings in the PGA Tour, and Colin Morikawa and Hideki Matsuzaki, who are sitting at plus 2,500 and plus 1,400 respectively. And last but not least, our NASCAR update. That's right. We have made a lot of money here on NASCAR. So looking at the next race here is the Maximum Pain Relief 400, and it's got Chase Elliott as a favorite. But you know that's not what we like to do. We like to look at the top 10 finishes. And looking around here, the number 1 car of Ross Chastain is the minus 110 favorite. That's one that I would take. This is also a track that AJ Allmendinger does really well at. So maybe pop him as a plus 250 odd favorite to finish in the top 10. And you know what? That Chase Briscoe has been running really, really good, but that Austin Cindric there has got way better odds at plus 160. Take the rookie who's already got a couple of wins today for a top 10 finish, and you will be happy with your returns on Mondays. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been High Stakes, High Rewards. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back joined in with Johnny Dean, the host of NFL Edition on Thursdays, live from Bucks Report. And Ben Cornett says, oh my God, Johnny is tolerating baseball talk. He must be medicated. No, Ben, you're just still drunk.
Although I am medicated.
Yeah, I think we both are. So, Antonio Santiago III says, rip Mr. Rams house, go Bucks. I love it. Got our Buccaneer fans in the comment sections today. I also like this here. William Michael Preeman, thank you for tuning in. Says, do you think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will win the Super Bowl this year? Johnny, let's start with you. What do you think? Do you think the Buccaneers will win the Super Bowl this year?
Well, how do we start this? Do we go by Brady's odds of every other season?
I mean, you could.
I mean, for 20 years, Christ, since 2013, he's done that, right?
Mm-hmm. You're not wrong.
And get in the playoffs, which I don't see it's going to be a very hard. Every game's a hard game. You got to play it.
Yes, 110%.
But the odds of us getting to the playoffs this year is really good with Brady in there. Get to the playoffs, and then Brady turns into Brady. Anything can happen. I can see it.
I mean, it's the same thing that we said last year. Like the Bengals and Raiders matchup was perfect for the first round because we knew that any one of those teams winning is just going to give them enough momentum that they were going to do something with it. And I ended up making way too much money off of the Bengals' little Super Bowl run there. So that was nice. Yeah, I want to say the Buccaneers are going to win. I will obviously, I got high hopes. Anytime the Buccaneers are going to make the playoffs, so you're obviously hoping. That's what you would do with any team. It just so happens that we as Buccaneer fans are still sitting on our inevitable high horse that we won it with Brady in the first season here. So we don't necessarily care for the outcome. Like it's like going on a date, bringing the girl home or vice versa or guy, whichever. And like they inevitably have the best orgasm they've ever had. Okay. Like what are you going to do for the second date? What are you doing? You know what I mean? Are you gonna go take them fucking rock climbing and fucking have sex on the middle of the cliff? What are we doing at this point? You know what I mean? So what is it now that the Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans want, right? They're like, oh, we want another championship because Brady's still here and stuff like that. Yep. But me?
It would definitely be a waste not to have it right now.
Exactly.
And there's also another thing to think about. The AFC is going to beat each other the hell up.
Oh my God, man.
By the time they get 17 games in, that division is going to be
that whole conference is going to be just everyone's going to be beaten up, right?
Yep.
That's why, like, even in fantasy football, like, you want to get as many NFC players as you can this year for your redraft leagues. Like, that just seems to be the best strategy ever because it's a lot of points to be had in the NFC, not too much to be had in the AFC necessarily. So, Christopher Cole says, hey, what's up, guys? Not too much, buddy. We are just wrapping up this show here today. Nice little 1 hour segment. We had Johnny Dean from the NFL edition. I almost said the NFL network. It was like, holy shit, dude, you're moving up in the world.
Damn.
Johnny, tell them where they can find you.
Thursday nights, NFL edition, everywhere.
Everywhere and anywhere. Thank you.
Everywhere and anywhere. I'll see you later, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. We'll see you later. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for tuning in today. We will talk to you next Saturday. We will have Alex Loosemore joining in. We'll go over some Dynasty rankings, some players that you're going to want to start looking at trading for right now before the inevitable draft happens, and some player stock goes pew, and some player stock goes pew right out of the roof here. So thank you all for tuning in. Much love to the likes and the shares and the follows that we've gotten today, and all the people for tuning in and making comments, including Johnny Dean, Mark Gallen, Harry the Greek, Harry Berg, obviously, Joshua Cole Allen from Pewter Report, our NSD analyst Kyle Yacey, Mr. Rams House, Satino Millie Howell, making sure I don't, Rich with the Dwayne Haskins. Thank you for tuning in today, Rich. Yes, and rest in peace to Dwayne Haskins as well. William Michael Preeman, Tim Weatherspoon, Ben Cornett, and then, of course, Christopher Cole. All of you, thank you for tuning in. Much love from NSD. We'll be back with you next Saturday, and we'll be talking a little bit more Dynasty, but obviously talking about your favorite teams and what this offseason means for them going forward. Shout out to everybody in the comments. Drop us a like, drop us a share, drop us a follow. We're all over the place here, and we're only getting started. Much love from Canada, ladies and gentlemen. We'll talk to you next weekend. Bye-bye.
So if I can pay the Cerberus and then become the one whose name they dare to speak, then I believe that we can shift the cosmos into something so much more complete than antiquated doublespeak.